Most people think that once they've been on a few cruises, they've got everything figured out. But the truth is, even the most seasoned cruisers keep making the same sneaky mistakes over and over without realizing how much time, money, and enjoyment they're losing. That's exactly why you're here. Before you jump into your next sailing, I want to reveal the advanced level errors that veteran cruisers accidentally repeat, mistakes that quietly sabotage the experience in ways beginners never notice. Maybe it's missing out on the best dining, ignoring loyalty perks that could save hundreds, arriving at the port too confidently, or simply falling back into old habits because I've done this 100 times. In this video, we're taking a deep dive into the 7 hidden mistakes that experienced cruisers make every single time, and more importantly, how you can avoid them and level up your vacation instantly. These aren't beginner tips, these are the insider secrets that transform a good cruise into an unforgettable one. So if you want smoother days, smarter planning, better perks, and a cruise that feels completely upgraded without spending $1 more, stick with me, because this is going to change the way you sail forever. 1. Ignoring specialty dining until it's too late here. Something even experienced cruisers fall for without realizing it, waiting too long to book specialty dining. When you've cruised a lot, it's easy to think, I've done this before. I'll figure out where to eat once I'm on the ship. But cruise dining has changed drastically over the years. Specialty restaurants have become major highlight steakhouses, teppanyaki, French bistros, seafood venues, chef's tables, and celebrity-designed menus. The problem is, these spots fill up fast, especially on newer ships where dining is a huge part of the experience. Seasoned cruisers often assume they know the peak times, or think they can walk up whenever. But what happens is they end up with awkward reservation times or miss the most popular restaurants altogether. And that means missing out on some of the best meals the cruise actually offers. A smart way to level up is to book your specialty dining before you sail, ideally as soon as reservations open in your cruise planner. Don't wait until embarkation day unless you want limited options. And here's something many pros forget. Look out for pre-cruise discounts on dining packages. Cruise lines often drop the price online weeks before sailing, and you'll hardly ever see those deals once you're on board. Another insider trick is to book specialty restaurants on port days. When most passengers are ashore, you'll get quieter dining rooms, better service, and sometimes even special menus or promotions. Also, don't overlook lunch. Some specialty venues offer lunch for half the price of dinner, or even at a flat fee that's significantly cheaper. If you want to try multiple specialty restaurants without breaking the bank, lunchtime is your golden ticket. And if your ship offers a chef's table experience, book it early. It's one of the first things to sell out and one of the most unique dining events at sea. Transitioning into the next point, the same kind of, I already know how cruising works mindset often leads people to overlook something even more valuable than dining loyalty perks. And trust me, this mistake can cost hundreds of dollars without you ever noticing. 2. Mismanaging loyalty programs and missing easy points. One of the biggest mistakes seasoned cruisers make is assuming they understand their loyalty programs, when in reality, cruise lines constantly update their benefits, earning structures, and tier requirements. If you've been cruising for years, you're probably familiar with the basics: free laundry at certain levels, priority boarding, maybe a few discounts here and there. But here's the truth. Many experienced cruisers leave a shocking amount of value untouched simply because they keep up with changes or maximize what's already available. For example, most loyalty programs offer bonus points for certain cabin categories, promotional sailings, back-to-back cruises, or onboard purchases in specific areas. Missing just one bonus opportunity can mean missing a whole tier upgrade, which then causes you to lose out on perks like free internet, specialty dining discounts, or even free drinks. And believe it or not, many longtime cruisers forget to link their loyalty numbers before they sail, especially when booking through travel agents or third-party websites. If you don't double-check that your number is on the reservation, you could miss out on thousands of points. Another mistake is not visiting the loyalty desk on board. Cruise lines sometimes run exclusive offers for loyalty members, discounted future cruise deposits, bonus point promotions, or loyalty-only events where you can score perks or upgrades. Many veteran cruisers assume they already know everything, so they skip it completely. Keeping track of loyalty tiers is also crucial. Some tiers require sailing within a certain time frame to maintain your status. If you miss that window, you might drop a level, losing benefits you worked years to earn. Here's a secret the pros know but rarely use: stacking benefits. You can combine loyalty discounts with onboard credit, pre-cruise sales, dining packages, and beverage promotions. Many people never do this, and they end up paying way more than necessary. Now, loyalty programs are all about value, but value also connects directly to how you pack. And our next common mistake actually hits even experienced cruisers hard, because they assume they've already perfected their system. 3. Overpacking because they know what they need. Veteran cruisers often believe they've got packing down to a science. And that's exactly why they tend to overpack. They remember all the time something unexpected happened: a formal night, a bad weather, a special dinner, and they pack just-in-case outfits for every scenario. But cruising has changed. Ships offer laundry services, self-serve laundromats on many sailings. Wrinkle release spray works wonders, and smart packing tools like compression cubes free up space. That big bulky suitcase you used 10 years ago is no longer necessary. The real problem with overpacking is that it creates stress long before your vacation starts. You're hauling heavy bags through the terminal, trying to squeeze them under tiny cabin beds, tripping over them, and searching through piles of clothing every morning. Experienced cruisers often forget that cabins today are designed with smarter storage and more efficient layouts, but even the smartest storage can help if you bring too much. Another overlooked issue is how weather varies at sea. Even warm itineraries can get breezy. But instead of packing multiple heavy layers, opt for versatile, lightweight pieces that mix and match easily. A couple of neutral tops, one sweater, and a light jacket are usually more than enough. And seasoned cruisers often forget to check their ship's dress code changes. Many cruise lines have become more casual over the years, meaning you don't need 3 formal outfits unless you actually enjoy dressing up. Experienced cruisers also tend to bring too many shoes. Shoes take up the most space, and realistically, you only need 4 types: comfortable walking shoes, flip-flops or sandals, dinner shoes, and maybe 1 pair for excursions like hiking. That's it. Toiletries are another space waster. Ships have shampoo and body wash, and bringing full-size bottles is unnecessary. The key is packing smart, not packing big. Now, while packing is a physical part of cruising, our next mistake focuses on technologies, something many veteran cruisers underestimate simply because it was essential years ago. 4. Skipping the app or onboard tech features. If you cruised before smartphone apps became part of the experience, it's easy to assume you don't need them. But skipping the ship's app is one of the most limiting mistakes even seasoned cruisers make today. These apps control nearly everything on board, from dining reservations to show tickets, spa appointments, messaging other passengers, accessing deck maps, checking your onboard account, and even joining virtual queues to avoid long lines. Many experienced cruisers think, "I know this ship. I've seen these shows. I can just walk in." But that mindset results in missed opportunities. Some shows now require reservations to guarantee seating. Specialty restaurants use the app for updates and waitlist notifications. Kids' clubs require check-in through the app. Spa and fitness classes sometimes only release openings digitally. And deals like flash sales, 2-for-1 drink specials, or limited-time excursions of fine appear exclusively through the app. Another huge issue is communication. Veteran cruisers used to rely on the daily paper planner, but those are becoming more limited or even phased out. The app lets you heart events you're interested in, build a custom schedule, and add reminders so you don't forget activities you wanted to try. And let's talk about embarkation day. Most cruise lines assign arrival appointments through the app. If you don't use it, you may show up too early or too late, causing delays or extra waiting. Plus, digital muster drills are now common. You watch a quick video on your phone instead of standing outside with a crowd. Using the app makes your cruise smoother, faster, and far more enjoyable. And speaking of making things enjoyable, our next mistake is all about how experienced cruisers handle port days on, how they sometimes miss out on the most exciting opportunities. 5. Sticking to the same ports and not exploring better excursions when you've been on several cruises. It's incredibly easy to get stuck in a routine with ports. You think, "I've been there, done that," and you either stay on the ship or walk around the same areas near the pier. But ports evolve. New excursions open every year. Local operators create fresh experiences, and hidden gems emerge that you'll never find if you stick to your old plans. Experienced cruisers often overlook independent excursions because they're used to booking through the cruise line for safety and convenience. While cruise line excursions are reliable, they're not always unique. Independent operators, especially ones with great reviews, offer personalized, smaller group experiences that feel far more immersive. You can snorkel with fewer crowds, explore local villages, taste authentic food, or try activities most passengers never hear about. Another mistake is ignoring port research simply because you've been there before. But islands change. New beaches develop, transportation improves, and updated travel blogs and vlogs share current conditions. What was once an average beach might now be the top attraction. What used to be overcrowded may now be peaceful. Seasoned cruisers should also consider customizing their own port days, renting a private driver, creating a walking route, or mixing mini experiences like a beach stop followed by local food, and then a short hike can give you the best day possible without sticking to a pre-planned group. Just make sure you know the ship's all-aboard time and stick to well-reviewed drivers. If you love staying on the ship instead, pick the right port days. Some ports empty the ship more than others. It's when you'll enjoy quiet pools, shorter lines, and a more relaxed atmosphere. Now that we've covered ports, let's shift back to something that affects your whole trip from start to finish: timing. And our next mistake happens both at embarkation and debarkation and can cause real headaches. 6. Overconfidence with embarkation and debarkation timing. Experienced cruisers often feel so comfortable with the process that they start cutting things to close arriving late, showing up outside their assigned time, or assuming they know exactly how long everything will take. But embarkation procedures change frequently. Cruise lines update security steps, modify arrival windows, implement staggered check-ins, and adjust muster procedures. If you show up too early or too late, you might be forced to wait in long lines or be delayed boarding altogether. Another common problem is misunderstanding traffic patterns around the port. Even if you've cruised from the same terminal before, construction, seasonal crowds, and port regulations can drastically affect arrival times. Being overconfident can put unnecessary stress on your vacation before it even starts. Debarkation is similar. Many experienced cruisers think they can wake up, grab breakfast, and casually walk off the ship when they're ready. But cruise lines assign group debarkation times for a reason. Missing your group, going too early, or crowding the hallways only slows down the entire process. If you're catching a flight, this mistake can be extremely risky, especially since airport security lines vary wildly depending on the time of day and season. To avoid these issues, follow your assigned arrival window closely. If you want early boarding, complete your online check-in the moment it opens. For debarkation, choose the method that matches your situations. Self-assist if you are comfortable carrying your bags and want to leave early, or assign groups if you prefer a calmer exit. And always allow a safe buffer between debarkation and your flight. And finally, all of these mistakes tie into one major theme: managing your money on board. Even experienced cruisers get this wrong, and the next mistake leads to surprisingly high bills at the end. 7. Not budgeting for onboard extras because they know the system. One of the sneakiest traps experienced cruisers fall into is assuming they already know how much onboard extras will cost. But cruise lines change their pricing constantly, sometimes seasonally, sometimes even mid-year. Drink packages go up, Wi-Fi tiers adjust, gratuity rates shift, spa services get more expensive, and specialty dining prices increase. If you rely on what things cost on your last cruise, you might be shocked when you see your final bill. Another mistake is underestimating small charges. Even seasoned cruisers forget how quickly lattes, bottled water, smoothies, arcade games, laundry, photos, and room service fees add up. Many veterans skip buying packages because they believe they'll keep spending low, but end up paying more a la carte. The key is to pre-plan. Buy drink packages or Wi-Fi before the pre-cruise discounts are real. Review gratuity policies so you're not surprised later. Look for spa specials on port days instead of sea days. Consider whether you actually need every add-on. Sometimes experienced cruisers buy packages just because they always have, even if they won't use them as much this time. Another overlooked tip is tracking your onboard account daily. The cruise app lets you see every charge in real time. Experienced cruisers often skip this step, only to find errors or double charges at the end. If you check early, the guest services line is shorter and the issue is easier to fix. And with that, you now understand how even the most seasoned cruisers fall into these subtle but costly mistakes that can be avoided with just a little planning, awareness, and updated knowledge. Well, my great audience, and there you have it, 7 mistakes that even the most experienced cruisers make without realizing how much time, money, and enjoyment they're losing on every sailing. The good news is that once you're aware of these habits, your entire cruise experience changes. You start booking smarter, exploring deeper, enjoying better meals, avoiding crowds, and unlocking perks that most passengers never touch. Whether it's mastering loyalty programs, upgrading how you plan port days, or simply staying flexible with technology and scheduling, these small adjustments can make every cruise feel smoother, more luxurious, and way more rewarding. I hope this helped you get ready for your next sailing with fresh eyes and a sharper strategy. If you learned something new today, drop a comment and share which mistake surprised you the most, or share your own insider tips so we can all cruise smarter together. If you haven't already, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you never miss more cruise secrets, guides, and insider travel tips. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next voyage.